So, welcome to the 8th episode of this podcast. Today, we're going to talk about siblings and superstitions. I heard that you guys don't have much superstitions in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much, but actually, in general in Europe,
Yeah.
there aren't. But in Eastern Europe, where I'm from, nowadays it's not so much like the new generation is like 20 years ago. But before it was like loads of them.
In India, we have massive superstitions. We have like
can't do it.
a lot. So I start with a superstition slash black magic. I mean, I'm not a huge believer of these things, but I've seen these things around me. So you know, like Holi and Diwali,
Yes.
they are full moon or no moon nights. Amavas, they are either full moon or they are no moon.
Yes.
And these 2 days are very potent when it comes to black magic, when it comes to superstitions. So usually, so I saw these things on Diwali, but usually you see it near on Diwali or Holi. There's like a bowl, like a diya,
Yeah.
and it has a light and it flies. So if someone wants to kill you, that diya or that bowl will come on top of your house and it extinguishes, and within 2-3 days you'll die. And the bad part is
But maybe these things happen only in India.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's why I'm here to ask you. But I've seen it with my eyes, and it defies the laws of physics. Like if the wind is flowing this side, and if you have a kite, it will flow this side as well. But these things, they flow in. It doesn't matter where the wind is flowing, what the temperature, or blah 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 blah. And the Indian ladies, like I was on the terrace with my grandparents, my grandmom and my grandfather. My grandfather doesn't believe in these things. That he thinks that this is all like shit and stuff. So they're afraid, like if you watch them, they will come to your house and extinguish. So you don't watch them as well. These bowls. And my grandmother was like, yeah, take a video, yeah.
So if you watch them, it's even more potent.
Yeah.
So it's better you don't know.
No.
I see.
So what my grandmother told, there was this bowl flowing, and like 6, like my house, and there was 6 other houses. The 7th house, there was this young teenager. She died because of the bowl, and I was like, but how did she die? And she died of dengue. So you don't know, the science and superstition doesn't go hand in hand. She died of dengue. You know dengue?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one of the superstitions which I have experienced. I have not personally, but I've seen these
Yeah,
things.
I mean, in Eastern Europe there are a lot of superstitions, like
You
about.
said there are none.
No. Nowadays people, they don't believe in it, but they know about it. Like it's like the classic one with the black cat. If and they're like attacking black
I've
cats.
always seen it's related to color. Black cats. So what we have is, if you're walking and a black cat crosses your path.
But what we do use, like
Back
people
up.
even nowadays, they kind of not believe, but they kind of like not accept, like they use it, the superstition. I mean, doesn't matter you believe or not. It's like this one, like stepping in poo, like it's lucky, or if like a bird, like poos on you or stuff, it means like it's a sign of luck.
Oh my! So stepping in poo is luck.
Yeah, I mean, if you step like accidentally, not if you go.
Yeah,
step
no.
like.
Oh my god!
So it's considered lucky. So like, oh, you're lucky and stuff.
I remember like when we used to step on the poo, of course accidentally. My mom was like, "Come here."
Really?
Because remember, we have cows everywhere, we have
Yeah.
dogs everywhere, we have monkeys everywhere. We have a lot of shit on the road.
I see. So it's easy to step.
And have you seen my room?
Yeah.
So the cleanness comes from my mom.
I
And
see.
she was like, and if you walk in the house with this step, you're like, "Come here."
Come. Yeah, I can believe it. Especially.
But it's always about black animals. For example, we had one thing where like if you like bang your head like so we have to bang it again Otherwise, the black dog will bite you.
Mm.
It never happened, but that's one of the superstition.
Yeah, it's about. I mean, in mythology and stuff, I think these like black dogs, they're like spirits or something from the underworld. You know, these black dogs are like from the Greeks. From it's always like a black dog, even in the Quran and stuff. There is something. This way they hate dogs and stuff. So.
Do we have black dogs in Ramayana Mahabharata? I don't
know.
But
they are present everywhere,
yeah.
but not like all the black dogs. Like, so the misunderstanding is that people say like, oh, black dogs, but no, like they say like these spirits or whatever, demons or incarnation or like usually related to hell, they come in a form of a black dog, big black dog, you know, but it doesn't mean like all the black dogs, you know, so they're like...
There is one more superstition, which, of course, like here we don't have street dogs, but when you go to India, like Delhi and stuff, you have street dogs like lying... So during the night, if the dog is barking, it means it has seen some ghost, and these can sense the ghost and they are barking.
Man.
And my colony dogs were so bad. My colony dogs were so bad. They used to bark at 3 and 3:30, and it's again a superstition that like the ghost and stuff they come at 3 o'clock, 3:30.
Yeah, but I hear like about India, like they literally believe in ghosts. Like I've seen some funny videos, and I heard stories, you know.
Yeah.
Like they take ghosts seriously. I mean, I heard some stories like, I don't know, 30 years ago, they even halted construction, you know, like because they said, oh, it's a ghost, and they're like just sitting around for like getting paid, but not like going on the construction side for days or weeks. I don't know.
No, we take God very seriously. We take ghosts very seriously.
So,
but then there stood a man, my grandfather. So I remember like the ball. So we were in like 5th or 6th standard, and we were playing. The ball went outside the campus.
Yeah.
So me and my 2 friends, one of the friends visited me as well here. We went back, and then I was raised in a Christian school, like Catholic school, so the cemetery was just behind. So we went back, took the ball, and there was a man, and we went there and we saw there was a skeleton of a bull, I guess. And then he looked at us and he was like, whoever has like 6 fingers in one hand, he will kill them. And we got like so afraid because we were like kids, like
the old man or the
old man. The old man said like
the bull, the spirit.
We just ran away. We were just like, oh yeah. So we ran away, and I told my grandfather. Now, my grandfather doesn't believe in ghosts and stuff. He was like, no. So what he did, he took me. He found a guy like in the village with 6 fingers in the hand. I don't know how. He took me and him at 2 o'clock in the night, and the guy was like, oh, like, what's happening? Are you taking me? What's happening? Like, we went to the college. We went there, and there was a skeleton of bull, and he was like, I got the man. Where's the ghost and stuff? So what he was trying to do is he was trying to take the fear out of me, the ghost and everything and stuff. But all the other people were like, oh, there's ghost, there's that. So we do believe in ghost and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I heard some stories that like God, and those funny clips, you know, it's people like literally they are frightened, you know. Some people wear like they paint their face white or with a sheet, and they go on the street and scare people. They are like, people are terrified, you know. Like if you do these things in Europe, they're like, yeah, hello man, like nice costume, you know. I mean, yeah, you would be scared, for example, that it's a surprise, but you won't be like, oh, let's run, it's gonna kill us or something, you know. Like,
I've seen something like this clip from Russia, and they were like, they took the shirt off, and they're like,
yeah.
ready to beat
yeah, exactly. I mean, so,
Russia.
yeah, they were like big because of the ghost.
You know, I don't know if you guys have it, but tell me, like, so what we have, and we have a lot about this, and it's mainly the mountains, that ghost comes to you, like in your body, and then you, as a human being, starts behaving different, like weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, these possessions, they exist.
Possessions.
Yeah, possessions, they are like they exist in mythology and texts and like even martial arts texts, they exist for, I don't know, from forever basically. You find them. So either you get like possessed accidentally, or you do it on purpose. There are like many ways to do it. Of course people.
But again, there is a conflict. For example, my uncle got possessed, and my auntie, the uncle's wife, he called my grandfather because she knows that one guy who can treat him is, and like the uncle who got possessed was a policeman, 6'2", 100 kgs, and my grandfather is also like 6 foot and he's like massive. So she called, and he went there, and he said to the family members like, I'm like he asked him a stick, and he went inside, and he asked the family members to lock the door from outside, not from inside, from outside. So that when he beats him, it's like he cannot run. And then, so like he went inside, sat down with the stick, they locked him outside, and they both just sleep. They both just slept. They were like, there was no possession and stuff. That uncle was basically acting or something. He was upset or something because he saw the stick and he was like, start. He was like, it's okay. And then he just slept.
I mean, I can understand that people maybe can take advantage. For example, they say people believe in these possessions, and to get out of something, they start acting as they would be scientifically and stuff. It's not like proven. It's like basically split personality and stuff. But of course, we don't know much about it, and I believe there is like more to it than just that, because otherwise we wouldn't make. And also why it's present all over history, so all these possessions and stuff. So so I don't know exactly how it works, but people can seem, like
I have seen
different in different times, different.
There was this puja, and it's usually these things happen in the mountain. I don't know, for some weird reason, majority of these things happen in the mountains. So I was in puja, and the puja was in Uttarakhand, next to Himachal Pradesh. So you have Himachal Pradesh here, then you have Uttarakhand here, and you have Kashmir up there. So one girl got possessed, but you have 4 men holding that lady, holding that girl, and she was out of our control.
Now, the thing is, when people, so first ever, people, they don't use their full strength and whatever, in general. When they go into a crisis and stuff, their strength increases exponentially, like not exponentially, but increases a lot.
True.
Now the thing is, to control a person, for example, if you apply X amount of force, like to hold you, you will try to get out. Then if you apply more force to get out, you will get hurt, because say I'm stronger, let's say, I'm stronger, I'm trying to hold you, and then you try to get out, then you will start hurting because it's so much force, Then people will stop. Now when you don't have that inhibition, people will keep going. Now the thing is, the other person might be stronger, but they will feel the pain, basically, and they will say like, if I hold too tight, I will like injure the person who is struggling, So usually this is why people, they need more people to control, because they want to control safely. If there was somebody who wanted for real, like a fighter or something, he could control, but the person will be injured, more or less, like something,
But then how will you define this? So you define like we were 4 people, we were holding her, good. But then when that there was an uncle who asked, "Oh, who are you?" Possessing a body, she started speaking like a man, like our voice, and she said, "Oh, I am a 15-year-old boy who committed suicide, and my village is this." She named the village, and I want to meet my mom, and I can't meet my mom being a spirit. I have to take her body, and I'm taking her because she's weak, and she's afraid.
Mm.
So I'm going to take her, and she ran 2 times, like to us, and so we stopped her. So how will you define that?
Yeah, I mean, there are many stories like that.
Or if I see from science, that's split personality.
Yeah, but it happens like.
You can define.
No, because like we know from even prehistory that the first priests and stuff, like they were ladies, and they were more in tune with nature in general. This is how it is, you know. So they would be like communicate with the spirits of the trees, and because they didn't, and the ancestors, you know, for them the ancestors were very important, because most likely they didn't have writing and stuff, so the knowledge was kind of kept like this. So they use a lot of this type of magics, spirits and stuff, like in prehistory. Of course, not all the people, but most of them. So I mean, yeah, there are many ways, you know, to. And I believe these things exist, you know, like this.
Because I've seen this thing in Christianity because of my school. I've seen this thing happening in Hinduism because of my house. I've seen this thing happening in Muslims, because some of the Muslims, if you have to take, I don't know about Europe, but in India, and if you are possessed, and if you go to these Maulanas and stuff, they take like, you know, these peacock, these like wings, and they beat the shit out of you with it, and the ghost goes out.
Ah, yeah.
I don't know what's the science, what's the technique behind it, but that's one of the.
Yeah, I mean, probably it depends on the ghost but for example, what I know, like from a practical point, like for example in like some martial arts, for example, especially like ninja training, you know, they say magic and stuff, so they do have some techniques that you get yourself possessed on purpose to enhance your abilities, you know, and they usually have like some secret names of those ancestors, spirits and stuff, and they summon them to possess them to.
Have you seen Arcane? Netflix series Arcane.
Yes. Yeah.
So they inject a liquid which gives them demon powers, so they get.
Yeah, but no, this is like an actual possession, like because usually these spirits, like in the magic books and stuff, they have like, you need to grab them in a way from somewhere. I mean, these things happen accidentally, but they have to be in tune with the host. We have some link, you know, at some point. So then this, for example, in this ninja techniques, they have either some object or the name or some knowledge which the user in like practices them, so they can be in tune with that spirit more or less, and also if the spirit wants to come, basically, it's not like a guarantee. And then they do get possessed on purpose, you know.
Do you remember I saw someone in the house when I came to London?
Yeah, but there was this.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. It was so fun.
Do you want to tell it on camera?
Yeah. Yeah, so Pranjal was like first days in London, and our neighbors were like they were like 3 girls living next to us.
This side? So the house.
Yeah.
But that's no.
So yeah, it was like on that side.
English.
Yeah, so it was Saturday night, they came late and, you know, sat partying this. So usually people, like we had a walkway just next to the window, but people can come from the street. There are some bushes and they go to their house. So this time probably they just came through our pathway.
Yeah.
And basically in front of our windows, and front of like,
No. They didn't came in front of our windows. They were like this, like
yeah.
looking.
Yeah, maybe.
You shouldn't look inside someone's house.
Yeah, maybe they got. Yeah, maybe, you know, they were like drunk, or like they got the wrong house, or they didn't have a key or something.
If someone comes and looks here right now, you'd be like,
yeah.
what the heck?
So basically, in Pranjal's mind, because in India, you know, like girls, they don't go out late like this, and in the middle of the night coming also next to your window. And he was like, "Ghost, come here, you know, quickly, you know." And I was like,
He just
So no man is
went down and went to the bathroom, and I was like, whoa, what is he doing? Why is he going to the bathroom? I was like, and then I was like, yeah, why did you go to the bathroom? And then what was the reason?
No, so basically, if there were something, you know, like, anyway, like a person who is spying or ill intent, is better he's watching you, it's better you watch him, you know. So I pretended, for example, that I don't know, I go to the bathroom downstairs so I can like, I can see if there actually someone is there or not, you know, through...
Man, because someone told me from India that you know, World War One, World War Two, and then how English conquered the whole world. They killed so many people. It's 100% chances that there will be ghosts on London streets. There will be spirits walking.
Yeah, I mean, for example, I heard also stories like in the... It's true. I mean, I didn't see here, but also I didn't look for them in a way. So I did hear a story like because in now, as they say, these spirits, they are tied to stuff, you know. And in the UK, they love to preserve stuff, old stuff, you know, like buildings, castles, furniture, like super old, whereas all this. So, or their pubs and stuff, they have like very old things in them. So I did hear a story like one uncle, he went one fancy castle, I don't know, in Scotland or something, like super expensive, you know, like his cousin is also like a lawyer, I don't know, like these elite people anyway, like, so it was like a fancy place basically, old castle. So it was like in a tower or something, and across there was the other tower, like from what I understand. So he sat in one, and then next, like maybe a few meters, it was another room in another tower. So he went to the room and he heard somebody playing piano all night, you know, there. He went to the reception, said like, you know, the next day said like there was somebody playing the piano all night, you know, like, and the reception said like we didn't have any guests there, it was empty, you know. And then he said, but what's in that room? He said, yeah, there was like some, it's a piano there, and there was like some old pianist, I don't know, something like, or maybe, I mean, maybe it's like a thing of the hotel, who knows, like a trick to bring visitors, and no idea. But the point is, he said like, I'm not staying in these old places ever again, you know, I'm going to like a normal
I
one.
also think it's also in the mind. For example, my grandmother, she believes in ghosts and she has sensed ghosts. But as I told my grandfather, he goes out looking for ghosts, never seen one. For example, like how, you know, like in Hinduism, you burn the bodies. So that place is called, oh my god, I forgot the place name. I don't know the name, like I forgot in Hindi, but so there were people who said that, so like, I don't know how it happens in Muslims, but in Hinduism, you don't burn the bodies after a certain time in the night.
Yes.
Because of spirits or something, I don't know the reason. So our neighbor, like an old uncle, died, so we all went to burn his body, and it was 7 o'clock. And in India, in 7 o'clock during summers, you know, 7:30. So they quickly burned the bodies and they all went out. And just to prove me a point, he always wanted to prove me a point that you should take this fate out. There's nothing like. Just to prove the point, he stayed there in the forest for the whole night, just to prove me a point. And I was in the house because I was too afraid to be there. And in the morning, he came and he was, nothing. He said, I went inside and I went like, come, like I want to meet someone. Come on. And I was like, yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, what they say in the magic books, like all this knowledge, arcane knowledge, or whatever, spirit knowledge, is that usually these like spirits or demons and stuff, they want something. They want to make a deal, you know. So, for example, if there is nothing to get out, or you're like, let's say, have this type of attitude, like, oh, I want to see, I want to like this, you know, and also like usually the spirits like they look for weaker
Yeah,
people,
exactly.
you know, who are more
That's
fearful,
what
more
he
inclined. You know?
said. That's what he said. Yeah.
But I mean, but it's not always the case. Let's say there are many types or whatever.
But do you believe in
But-
ghost? In spirits?
I mean, something is there, you know. I mean, because it's
I-
too,
I'm in a way-
because it's impossible, like throughout or all humanity in different eras, they write almost the same things, you know. So, and there are texts which describe exactly like what, how, where, you know, like all these things. But of course, and there are also, of course, some of them they might be, but but even these medical conditions, you know, like how they are exist, you know, why does it occur in somebody and not others, you know, who to say is not like a spirit, you know, okay, split person, but why does it come? I mean, we know it's a psychological or schizophrenia or something, but why does it come in somebody and not in others, you know, because it's not like a physical things, you know, like let's say do surgery and they're like cured, you know. It doesn't work.
There are reasons. I don't know the reasons, but anyways.
Yeah, means it can be one of the reasons in a way, because we don't know so many things. Or so if somebody like keeps their guard up, you know, like they are aware of stuff, you know, because see, like in martial arts and stuff, these magicians, they're like all mixed in a way, magic, martial arts and stuff. They kind of teach you like to control your emotion, like to not control, not being overwhelmed by them, you know. So then these spirits come through those emotions or rage or whatever, you know. So if you are like not losing control of that, it's more difficult or impossible, you know, to get, or even if you do get possessed, it doesn't stick, you know, because you're like in control, you know who you are, you're always attention on yourself, you know, so then it doesn't, so you can do this, but I mean, yeah, I've seen something like this, but if people are not aware, for example, of the thing happening, for example, your grandpa went on purpose there to do it, you know, so he was like ready for whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're not aware by accident, or you're like your attention is not there, it can happen,
100%.
you know, like this. So there is some knowledge about it, and it depends on you but the thing is, he was probably trying to teach you that you shouldn't be overwhelmed or fear, because usually,
I mean, he took a risk.
even in the scriptures and stuff, like if you add all things up, like humans as they are on the planet, like in the body or whatever, in a way they have more advantages over these nether worlds and stuff, you know. So there are some conditions to be met, so you can be harmed by those forces, let's say, you know. So it's basically kind of like people have an advantage, you know, so only in certain conditions. So this is what your grandfather was trying to teach you, and which is more or less true, you know, like this one.
I have more stuff about superstition and ghosts and stuff, and we can talk it in part 2. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
So was it fun? Was it like, are you like amazed? But I'll tell you more gruesome stuff in part 2.
Okay.
And you can throw me your views as well. But
yeah.